Okay, welcome back to turn 6, 17:15. So it's 5:15 p.m. With across the Rappahannock, the 160th playthrough of Fredericksburg for its anniversary here. We're down to the last two turns over here, and it's getting very interesting as if you've been following along with this. The Union has actually been able to achieve a little bit of a breakthrough over here and actually capture 4 victory hexes, which actually gives them a victory. And now it is down to the Confederates, particularly Hood and Taliaferro, to try to drive them out to prevent the victory. So with that, they've got 2 turns to do that, and the Union, of course, is going to try to stop them by pouring in as much reinforcements as possible to block them. So there will be some, real generalized fighting up here to the north, just off camera, or excuse me, to the south, just off camera, where the rest of Jackson's units are going to try to push and really make some mischief for the rest of the Union Army and try to keep reinforcements from flooding in up here on the Telegraph Hill. So this is getting really interesting here. So first off, just to give you an introduction to the turn, the initiative was rolled already. The Confederates won the initiative, and no surprise, they will be starting off with, let's see if that'll zoom in there for me. There we go. We'll start off with Jackson as the activation, and more specifically, we're going to go with Taliaferro down here in this particular area. And in fact, I'm going to flip you onto the close-in camera and give you a view of the fight from kind of a bird's eye view here. Taliaferro is with the dark blue stripe down here. So all these units here will be attacking. Now, Taliaferro's guns, they're off camera to the south. They're actually linked up with AP Hill's units and actually holding off Smith's units down there. So they won't have any action. They don't have any targets to shoot at. We're going to go right into the action of moving and charges for the Confederates. So first off, what we're going to do here, Pendleton is going to move up here. Actually, both the units are going to move up here to attack. And I'm going to keep you on camera, of course, so that you can see the action as live as possible. And so we'll be basically having these guys attacking. Of course, Branch is part of Ransom's units over here, so he won't be participating. But the rest of them will be attacking Sturgis units here. We're also going to move up within Taliaferro's hex. We're going to move up one of Warren's units. I think it's going to be, it's going to be that one, in preparation to try to break through. That's as far as he can go because we've got Sturgis stopping him there. Now we've got the second of Warren's units, which he could, let's see, that would be 2 into there, and then 3 into there, and then 4 into there. Actually, he could move around, couldn't he? Because he'd be moving there, and then moving there. Oh, wait a minute. He'd move into there for 2, but then it'd be 2 into there for 4. So, and then he'd have to stop because of them. So he couldn't get to McClaw's hex. Over there, he'd have to stop. I mean, it'd be good reinforcements seeing as Smith is coming up, but I need them to drive this way. I can't have them split off over there, so he'll stay where he is at that point. Now I do need to try to get up. I can't move anybody else into there. I've got Paxton back here, and I hate to leave him without any movement for this turn. I think what he will do, both of his units will come cross country here, one at a time. They'll go 2 into there. Oh, but he's going to have to Exiting will be another 1, so we can't make it all the way across there. That's not good. So, just have a little bit of a think here. I can get up into there. Well, I think I'll move at least one of them into there. I like their cohesion numbers. And then we can move the other one up with Taliver over there. Yeah, I think that's going to be best. So we're going to have one attack right in here. Pendleton and Jones team up going after Sturgis. Now, Sturgis does have defensive fire. Now, he's also disordered, so that's going to be an automatic -1. And I think he's going to have to go after Pendleton solely, just so he doesn't incur another negative number on there in the fight. So let's see, we're going to need to have a 7 or higher. That's the first thing, or excuse me, 8 or higher. This is going to be -1 for the disorder. He is defensive fire into the woods. Both are woods. So that's another -1. So that's -2. Oh boy, I don't think he's going to get it because that's going to be 9. That's going to be 9 -2 is 7. That's not going to do it, is it? So he really doesn't have any defensive fire. Oh, it's going to come down to the actual fighting. So no defensive fire. So we actually have combat here, which is going to be 4 here. 4 and 4 is 8, plus 6 is 14 against 7. It's a straight 2 to 1. All right, so that's going to be a +2. Cohesion is going to be a 7 to 4. Ooh, there's +3, so that makes +5. Now they are attacking into the woods, which means that's going to be a -1, so it's going to go back down to a 4. So it's going to need a 5 with a +4 on the dice. Rolls a 3, +4 is 7. That's going to be good enough to get him to retreat and take a cohesion test. So he will retreat into here. He's going to take a cohesion test. He is a 4. Rolls a 2, so he is okay. Right there. And by the way, that's McClaw, the leader. He doesn't have any effect on movement right there. So now we've got to move up one of the 7s here, either him or him. Oops. Shoot. I'm not here. Something screwy. She should be over there. And where was he? Is he right there? No, he couldn't have been. Branches there, branches there. Oh, he must have been. Okay. All right, so we're going to move up Taliver, or excuse me, the Jones, like so. So he'll advance into that hex. Actually, I'm just looking at that's overstacked. I'm going to have to, sorry about that, I'm going to have to back these up a little bit. So I just realized I created an overstack. Right, that was, he was there. Right, okay. So, so there we have it. So he has actually broken through, retaken one of the hexes. So the union's down to 3 hexes over here. We'll see what we can do on the edges over here as well. So that was Taliver's attack. I'm going to go through with the rest of the attacks over here to the south. I'm going to do these off camera for the moves for DH Hill, Early, and AP Hill over here. And then come back with you and I'll show you what happens here. But really wanted to show you the attack with Taliver over there. So we'll see you in a short bit. Okay, coming back here with the rest of Jackson's first activation. You can see up here, Hill has moved up to re-engage with Reynolds' First Corps. Early has struck here hard. They knocked out another artillery unit and pushed back another half a brigade, pushing back there. This First Corps is falling very quickly. One bright spot here for the Union, they did stop Hill's attack over here, trying to break into Smith's line right here at the river. Excuse me, at the run. And was able to push them back. So they're in pretty good shape over here. And as we showed you before, Taliver was the other big attack for that activation. So next one, we've got Pleasanton and the artillery. Okay, so with the artillery across the river, not much action. A little bit of repositioning up here. Some artillery over at these units with no effect. A little repositioning over here behind them, but nothing, nothing real substantial. So moving along here to the next chit, we get Smith. All right, so this is the first Union chit, a non-artillery chit, I should say, which is going to be Smith right over in here. So let me see what they're going to do and get back with you. Okay, so Smith's activation. Couple things. Howe over here pulled back a little bit to stay behind the deep run line here to provide some defense. Now it did open up over here, but we do have artillery that moved up to try to help. I didn't want to bring them up too close here, but it is kind of developing more of a issue to the left flank of the Union Army over here. On the positive side of things, back over here with Brooks, right over in here, they actually broke through, pushed back McLaw's, who was at there, Kershaw's unit out of here, and they captured this hex, the house and house right here, providing a little bit more thorn in the side of the Confederate center. Newton didn't do much. He's only got 2 units that are in good order. They are holding here. He would have been nice to attack here, but I don't have enough strength points and good order to actually do that. So these tried to recover, but unfortunately failed, and had to stay where they are. So that's all for Smith. I think he's set for now. We'll move on to the next one, which is going to be Couch. So this will be Couch in the center, and he's back right underneath us here. His units are in here. I'm not quite sure what they're going to do. They need some recoveries to happen back here, so they may need to reposition a little bit and try to get some units recovered in this particular activation. So we'll do that and get back to you. Okay, a little bit more shuffling with the Second Corps here. Hancock moving units back and forth to try to get a little bit better position and to get some units recovered. They did successfully get 1 unit recovered back, or 2 units recovered back here, or 1 unit, this guy right here. French and Howard continue to move up into the line there. One good thing, Thomas's guns here disordered Wilcox B right here, so that means he is vulnerable. And the same thing with these guns over here, disordered Featherston right here, so they're a little bit vulnerable there as well. So that makes for an interesting situation over here in the center. Now moving along to the next activation, that's going to be Lee and Longstreet. Okay, let me get Lee and Longstreet moving, and we'll get back to you at that point. Okay, I've brought you back on here, continuing with Lee and Longstreet here. One of the things that's going to be interesting here is that both Ransom and Anderson were successful in coordinating their attack. So they're actually moving all together, which is actually going to be a little bit useful because we potentially can attack up here and try to drive them off. Now looking at this afterwards, I'm thinking these guys are coordinated, but he's going to have to he would have to attack him separately instead of going with him. They would attack there and they would attack there. So not as significant, but I think we still will go with the attack here. Other movement, you can see I've shifted some around to try to pull back some of the disordered units and move up some fresh units to hold back the Union advance. But I think we'll take Featherston B and right B and attack him, Burns's first brigade off there. So that's going to be first the defensive fire. So he's going to be shooting into here. So he's going to be -1 for disorder. He needs a 8 to start. Then he's shooting into woods, which I think is going to be another -1. Yes, it is. So it's going to be -2. So I don't think he's going to get defensive fire. I think it's going to go straight in. Whoop, I didn't have it on camera. There we go. That looks a little bit better. Sorry about that. I didn't have you on camera. Huh. There we go. So that's a little bit better. So apologize for that. You can see here a little bit of rearranging. This is the attack we're going with right here. There's going to be no defensive fire because it's the negatives block it out. So the attack is going to be 8 against 6, which is a 4 to 3. Now he is in an open hex, but he is crossing a run. That's Hazel Run over there. So that's going to be a little bit interesting here. So it's going to be an 8 to 3, which is a 1 to 1, or 8 to 6, which is be a 1 to 1. Then we've got cohesion, which is going to be a +3 on there, but they're also going across a run, which is going to negate the clear terrain, and also add a -2. So it's only going to be a +1 on the dice. So 5 with a +1 on the dice. 7 + 1 is 8. That's going to be good enough to drive him back. So he's going to have to retreat. I think he's going to have to go there and displace somebody. Probably, yeah, the artillery will displace. So the artillery will displace back here. They'll need a cohesion test. Roll a 6, they're okay. He's going to go into here underneath, and he is, well, let's roll him first because he's a 4, and he rolls a 0, so he's okay as well. So he'll push back into here like so. And now one of these two guys, the top one there, will move forward like so. So they now reclaimed one more road hex from the Telegraph Road. That's the last one over there. So they've just got to get these two back, and they'll knock back the Union victory. So that's it for the combined attack of Ransom and Anderson over here. Next, I'm going to move along to Hood and McLaws and Pickett over here and see what they're going to do. So I'll be back with you after I get that straight. Okay, bringing you back after the turn of Lee and Longstreet. So I brought you back and saw Anderson and Ransom. Then we did McLaws. A couple significant things happened here. First, the Cabell's battery disordered this unit right here, which is bad for the Union, good for the Confederates. Disordered this unit here. I'm not sure how that's going to be handled, but we'll see. Second thing is Cobb was able to pull out now. Now that this hex was taken, he could pull back, and now he can potentially recover back there on the next activation. And then McLaws just shifted around a few units over here and also shifted his headquarters out of that very advanced hex and into a more protected location. Pickett, a little bit of juggling of units around here. The line, mainly holding the line over here. The 2 units of Jenkins, or the 1 unit of Jenkins, moved back, trying to move back so they can recover. This guy is kind of stuck for the moment, but hopefully we can get them out later. I didn't have them counterattack up here because there's no good combination to actually make that work. We did have Hood move up his units some more, and also if you notice right back here, he's starting to flank. He was able to come down this road back here, and then he's moving up the railroad bed to potentially attack either the next activation or the next turn at these two hexes over here. So hopefully they can drive them off and stop the Union victory. From the Union perspective, it's tough. Not getting the chits in the order they need. Wilcox is really depleted over here. We can see if they hold on, but it's going to be a tough battle for them going forward here. So next one, speaking of which, there it is, Wilcox. So let me take a good long look at Wilcox and see what I want to do and get back to you from there. Okay, a little bit more reshuffling, recoveries for Wilcox. Burns up here shifted a few units back. A lot of them are locked in here, so they couldn't really recover. We did get one recovered, I think, under there. Yep, right there. Sturgis, good recoveries over here. He's kind of stuck up here, but he did turn to hopefully maximize his firepower against these guys coming up over here. The only threat is behind. We'll see how that goes. Getty moved up some units, tried to recover a little bit, but failed. Also, some of the units, Rappahannock artillery that are across the river, moved up in support here as well. So hopefully that's going to be a defense. It's not really looking great over here for Wilcox to hold on to these two hexes, but we'll see how it goes. So we've been through about half of our chits so far. Our next one is going to be Lee Longstreet again. Lee and Longstreet. So they're going to renew their attack over in here a little bit. I'm not quite sure how it's going to go. I'm going to take a look at that. And if it gets exciting here, I'll bring you back. Okay, I brought you back here. So I've got one interesting attack here. I've got Hood moved up. His units came around the flank here. Yeah, right through here and just off camera a little bit, moving up along the railroad bed, and they're going to try to. Oh, one more thing here. He's got to move up into here. Great. They're going to try to attack him up here. He's going to block these guys out so that these guys can attack. So he's going to get a defensive fire. I don't know if it's going to do anything because it's going to be -1, -2 on an 8. So there's no defensive fire. So it's going to be 12 against 7, which is going to be a 3-2. So it's a +1. And then we're going to have 8-4. So it's a +3. Remember, there's a cap on cohesion levels at 3. So that's going to be a +4. And then into the woods, which is a -1. That's just going to go down to 3. So it's going to be a 5 with a +3 on the dice. So that makes 6. That pushes them back. They're going to go into here. And more importantly, the cohesion test of 4. And they pass. But that means that Hood has taken yet another hex away from the Union. So now they have 3 of the 4 hexes, and just Sturgis's hexes is going to be the one to attack next. So with the rest of them here, while I've got you on here, McLaws just kind of pulled back, tried to recover units, didn't get it. Pickett, the same thing, just kind of holding the line back here. So it's going to be interesting with the next activation, whenever Jackson comes up, to see if Taliaferro can continue up here and try to attack Sturgis's units here and here. That's going to be a tough attack because that's going to be 7 and 7 is 14. They do have a better cohesion, but they've got to match 14 strength points, which is going to be a little bit tough with the units here because they can do it, but they need to shift units around, and some wouldn't be available to attack within there. So we'll see how it goes when that comes up. So anyways, next one coming out, should be getting a few Unions because we've only had 4 Union chits come out. Yeah, we do. we've got couch again. So we're going to get couch's second activation. So that'll be back over in here. So let me take a look at that, see what we want to do, and be back with you. Okay, a little surprised here, but Couch made a good attack here. French and Howard were able to coordinate their attacks, and they were able to push forward in these two hexes. They pushed back both right A and Cook B over here, and now kind of isolate Mahone over here. Now Alexander's battery was disordered by artillery, a little bit of artillery attacks over here. So they've actually pushed up and threatening over here in the center. I don't think they're going to get much farther because there's a lot behind there. And this is the victory hex here and here. So it's going to be a tough battle to get in there, but it does put pressure on the Confederate center and hopefully take some off of Wilcox over here in the southern part of the center. So that was an interesting little round. What do we got here? We got about 4 chits left. And we're looking at, oh, here we go. Jackson chit comes out. So this is Jackson's second. So the big thing here is going to be this attack right over here. Let me shift you over here a little bit. How to actually do that. And I'll keep you on camera here, and maybe you and I can figure this out together. So these guys are already engaged with them here. They need to push them out. Now if I move him forward, he cannot attack him without attacking everybody else over here. So that positioning would be okay because I could move these guys up and potentially attack. But I got to get 14. Got to match 14 strength points. Cohesion will be okay. But we've got to match 14 strength points. And I'm not quite sure how we're going to do that. We've got 6 here already. These guys are only 4 apiece. They got good cohesion, but you know, I think they're okay. You know, so I got a bit of a log jam here to try to figure out. Now I may move up Paxton because he's got the better cohesion on there, and they could actually get the maximum benefit out of that. So if I moved him up, that would give me 10, 14 to 10. It's still going to be a 3 to 2, or 2 to 3. So that'd be a -1 plus Woods -2. The cohesion would be +3. It's only be a +1. Not great. I need some more strength points up there to at least get it up to a 1-to-1 on there, but I'm not sure how we're actually gonna do that. Now I could move units into here, but again, he will be the top unit, so totally different corps, so they can't coordinate their attacks. They're going to have to do it separately within there. So that's a little tricky. I think what I'm going to do is play for the next turn, meaning we're going to move up units, particularly Paxton. He'll go 2 to there, and then 3 in with Taliver. It's going to be the bottom unit, but that's okay. So that gets in position there with 10 points. Now I want to get the other Paxton up here as well, because he would be a good position with another one of these units of Pendleton or something like that to give me 8 more strength points. So that would be 18. That would be fairly decent to go against then. It's over 2-to-1, or over 1-to-1. -1 for Woods. But they would get the cohesion of 8 against 5 is be +3 on there. So we've got -1 for the Woods. So it'll be a +2, I think, in the end. That would be pretty decent. So I think we'll play that way. So I'm going to need to move one of these Pendletons back. And then we should be able to go 2, 4. He's going to have to stop there, but that's okay. Because he can't do strategic movement. We'll put him in 2 hexes. That's okay. We're in good shape there. And then we've got Warren's units over here with Taliver himself. And I think we'll leave them be for now. So not as exciting a turn for Taliver over here. A little bit of positioning. I think next turn is going to be the critical one to try to knock them out. Gives Wilcox a chance to do something. I'm not sure what. He's in pretty tough position at the moment here. I mean, he can't really move anybody back because that's going to be within the frontal hex of law. So he's kind of stuck there and he can't recover. So I think it's kind of it. It's his last stand. It's his stand right there. He will not be able to move out of there. So okay, so that's all for Taliver. So I'm going to go on to the rest of Jackson's Corps, Hill, and Early, and get them taken care of, and then come back with you for the next gen. Okay, well, I'm back with the rest of Jackson's Corps. Not really much happened. A little repositioning here with Hill on his own. Then I tried to coordinate an attack with both Early and DH Hill. Unfortunately, that failed. So that really limited, what they could do. So it was just a little bit of artillery back and forth for no effect. And they really kind of held their position and just recovered units as they could. So it's too bad because they could have pushed on into the First Corps a little bit more. So coming down with our next shit, it's actually going to be the First Corps. So this is a little bit tough because First Corps, well, I got you here. You can see they're in pretty sad shape. They've lost the bulk of the Union. They comprise the bulk of the Union losses. Most of them are disordered at this point. And I don't think I can recover anybody, and they really can't attack. I think they've just got to be kind of the sacrificial lambs over here to hold off the units back here. Now, I think what I will do is kind of reposition a couple of these units for a little bit more defensive action. I think he's okay. I think I'll bring him back. 1, 2, 3, and shoot him over there for 4. And then we're actually going to bring Doubleday back. We'll give up Mansfield there. Kind of straighten out the line there a little bit. Not give them any more casualties and kind of give ground a little bit, slowly but surely, to the Confederates. But those bridges are looking in a tough shape there. And if they do get to the bridges, that's also a Confederate victory there. So I've got to be careful about that. Next one is Wilcox. Okay, so we've got Wilcox to finish off with his activations. And this is what we were talking about before. And I'll keep you on here to give you some thoughts on this. Here's Wilcox over here in a very tough position. Sturgis is not going to be able to recover. As I said before, he's not going to be able to do much other than stay where he is. So we'll look at Burns here first. These units kind of locked in here. I could try to adjust. I could bring him 1, 2. Could bring him up to there, but he's not going to be able to attack. He could bring him back just to reinforce, and I think that's what we'll do. Is I think we'll bring him up. So we'll go 1, 2 to cross the run, and then into there 3 underneath, and then he'll move back 1, 2, 3 in there, and that'll give a little bit firmer line over here. I think that's all I can do with Burns, because I don't think, well, I do have Burns over there, who's in good order. So I think he will move up, kind of do some trading positions here. He'll move up into there. That gives a little bit stronger line back there, but I can't do anything about the 1 hex on the Telegraph Road. Okay. Oh, we've got Edwards to recover, so we'll do that. That rolls a 9, doesn't get recovered. All right, next. We'll come over with Sturgis here as well. Oh, we had him over here as well to recover. He didn't move, so I'll just do a quick recovery on him, or attempt to. He does. Okay, that could be useful. And actually, this guy didn't move as well. That's another Burns. I didn't realize he was back there. Oh, no, he's the one who moved. Sorry. Almost made a mistake. That's okay. So now we've got Sturgis. I do have some Sturgis units over here, but I just can't get them up here. He could move into here, but that really doesn't do much for me other than hold the line. 1, 2, 3, 4. I could move in with Burns, but that doesn't give me a lot. Well, maybe I'll do that anyways, because they may try to next turn activate together. Coordinated attack. Move them up there like so for Sturgis. That's the other one. He will... Well, he'll move up because he's just sitting back behind the lines. He'll move up, try to hold the line underneath Burns. Burns, Getty. Okay, that's it for Sturgis, I think. Yeah, his artillery's back there. Not really too effective. Last one is Getty. He is, up here. He's got a couple units that are off, but he could actually move one of those up. So he's going to do that. You could move one. Oh, wait a minute here. Okay, wait a second here. Getty's got some interesting moves here. He can move 1, 2 to there, and then 3, 4 into there. And that gives him position on him. That makes it a little bit tougher for them to attack, and that forces it more onto Hood over here to attack. He can actually recover now. I just noticed that. He can recover. He can attempt to recover. And he can attempt to recover. So we'll do that. So we'll start with him first. He's 5, and he recovers. That's good. Start with him back there. He needs a 4. Rolls a 1. That's good. And then he's a 4. And they all recover. That's impressive. So there we have it. Then we have some of this artillery back here. I don't know what I want to do with them. Because I really can't see anybody to shoot at. I think we'll position them right there, and that'll do it. Okay. So that is all for Wilcox. So hopefully I've strengthened his line a little bit up here. He obviously lost control of those hexes. I'm not sure he's going to be able to regain them next turn, but we'll see. This is the key one. If they can hold it, they get 1 victory point, and they'll get a Pyrrhic victory. They do have some strength over here. Now that Getty has moved this unit up, that's going to put some brakes on Taliver a little bit, so that Hood is going to be forced into the attack. So, interesting turn, or interesting activation for Wilcox. Last activation is the artillery. Not much here to do, I don't think. There's going to be a little bit of artillery in the back. I don't know. I don't think there's going to be any movement or anything with anything on the other side there. So, let me do the artillery and get back to you with the Yeah, so the artillery was ineffective up here. Trying to attack Hill's units that are lining up at the river's edge to attack him. Reynolds, that is. So, and I didn't reposition any to the east of the river. So that does it for the turn. So bringing you back over here, you can see where the fight is going to be. It's going to be right over here in the center here. Oh, I just noticed something here too. Let me, before I do my summary, I do have some units to attempt to recover. I've got 2 Union units, both of Gibbon and Doubleday. So we'll do Gibbon first. He needs 5 or less. Rolls a 3. That's this unit right here. He actually recovers. And I think we'll get him on the board here to form a second line of defense at the bridges. Because as I said, that's an automatic victory if they take any of the bridges. Okay. Next one is going to be the Doubleday. He needs a 7 or less. That's this guy right here. And he rolls an 8. And he is gone. Okay. Now we have 2 units for the Confederates. We've got Rhodes A of D.H. Hill. He'll need a 5 or less. Rolls a 2. He's back on the board. So where's the other Rhodes? Let me just look here. Dwells, Iverson, Colquitt, Rhodes. Here he is. Both of his units are, so I'll put him back there. And the last one is going to be Hood, Roberson. Needs a 6 or less. Rolls a 5, so he's in good shape. Let's see, where's Robertson? There he is. So I'm actually going to position him right over there as well. All right, so that takes care of it. So anyways, back to what I was saying. This is going to be the center of attention. That's the attack that's going to either make or break the game. If they push him off of here, then they won't have any victory points, essentially Confederate victory. If they stay or they get pushed back and grab a hex, then it'll be, very loose Union victory. But given the situation, it's going to be tough to claim any victory for the Union, given the status of the First Corps back here and the push by Jackson over there, as well as the units lost here as well. So anyways, that's the end of turn 6. Thanks for watching. We'll move on to the last turn, 1830, turn 7. Just as it's getting dark on this cold December day, we'll figure out who actually wins this. So I thank you for watching. We'll be back with you soon. Bye-bye.